you guys. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Fumble Live. Happy Tuesday. We are getting into Draymond Green's rant about the NBA's treatment of players, and we're also talking about how Ayesha Curry clapped back at some haters after she posted a nude photo. Yes, Ayesha Curry posted a nude photo. We're getting into all of it in just a second, but first, make sure you subscribe to our channel, tap the bell for notifications, give this video a thumbs up, and leave a comment below. Here's the Fumble Squad. I'm Devin Howard. You can find me on Instagram as @DevinHoward.
What's up, everybody? I'm Jackie Ray. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter @JRayTheFanatic.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's your girl, Britt. You guys can follow me on all social media @IamBrittJohnson. Before we get started today, obviously, we at the Fumble want to do a piece to Vincent Jackson. He played in the league for a long time. The majority of his career was with the Chargers, so I know that's probably hitting Devin a little bit harder, as she's the only Chargers fan that I know of. But he's a three-time Pro Bowler. He was found in his hotel room. We still really happening with that. What there was, we're waiting on autopsy, but we will definitely keep you guys posted on what's going on with that. Prayers for his family. Also today, RIP is my mom's birthday, so happy birthday to my mother. And on a happier note, it is also Mardi Gras, so happy Fat Tuesday to everybody. I hope everybody gets to celebrate with their loved ones today.
Sending love to you, Britt, to everybody, well, to everybody watching. I mean, I think we always need to spread a little bit of love. So thank you so much for calling that out. Also, you forgot to mention it is Taco Tuesday as well. So
most importantly, yes, ladies, what day is it today? It's Taco Tuesday.
Perfect. Okay, you guys, let's jump because I want to break down what Draymond Green said. I'm really curious to hear what you guys think about his rant. So he called out the double standard, how players are treated when they request a trade compared to when a team decides to sit a player indefinitely while waiting to trade them, which is what's happening with the Cleveland Cavaliers center Andre Drummond. So I'm just going to play this clip for you guys right now. It's a little long, but pay attention because I want to talk about it.
I would like to talk about something that's really bothering me, and it's the treatment of players in this league. To watch Andre Drummond before the game sit on the sideline, then go to the back, and then come out in street clothes because a team is going to trade him. Because when James Harden asked for a trade and essentially dogged it, I don't think there was no surprise or there's no one's going to fight back that James was dogging it his last days in Houston. But he was castrated for wanting to go to a different team, and everybody destroyed that man. And yet a team can come out and say, oh, we want to trade a guy, and then that guy is to go sit. And if he doesn't stay professional, then he's a cancer, and he's not good in someone's locker room, and he's the issue. And we've seen situations of Harrison Barnes getting pulled off the bench. DeMarcus Cousins finding out that he's traded in an interview after the All-Star game. And we continue to let this happen. But I got fined for stating my opinion of what I thought should happen with another player. But teams can come out and continue to say, oh, we're trading guys, we're not playing you. And yet we're to stay professional. At some point, as players, we need to be treated with the same respect and have the same rights that the team can have. Because as a player, you're the worst person in the world when you want a different situation. But a team can say they're trading you, and that man is to stay in shape. He is to stay professional. And if not, his career is on the line. At some point, this league has to protect the players from embarrassment like that. We talk all of this stuff about you can't do this. You can't say that publicly. If you say that publicly, you're fine. Anthony Davis got fined, I think, $100,000 or something like that for demanding a trade publicly. But you can say Andre Drummond's getting traded publicly, and we're looking to trade him publicly, and he's to stay professional and just deal with it. But then when Kyrie Irving say, oh, my mental health is off, everybody go crazy about that too. Do you not think that affects someone mentally? As much as we put into this game to be great, to come out here and be in shape, to produce for fans every single night, and most importantly, to help your team win, do you think that doesn't affect someone mentally. But as players, we're told to, no, you can't say that, you can't say this, but teams can. It goes along the same lines of when everyone wants to say, oh, man, that young guy can't figure it out. But no one wants to say the organization can't figure it out. At some point, the players must be respected in these situations, and it's ridiculous, and I'm sick of seeing it. Y'all have a great night. I'll see y'all tomorrow or Wednesday.
All right. So a lot of people on Twitter and on social media were in agreement with Draymond. They felt like there was a lot of truth to what he said. They were glad that he spoke out, but of course there were critics as well. So I want to talk to you guys and hear where you stand. Jackie, you gave him a round of applause just now. So tell me how you feel about Draymond's rant.
Perfect. Knocked it out the park. He nailed it on the head. It's not going to change. And that's the unfortunate thing. This isn't going to change anything. Tomorrow, go back to being the same exact way. If anybody wants to trade and they say something, they're going to be toxic. That was my thing with James Harden. For me, I would have loved if James Harden just did show up, and I know that there's negativity that comes along with that. But to me, it's worse when you show up in a fat suit and you're doing interviews and you're saying that there's no talent on your team and stuff like that. I would have just rather him say, no, I want to trade and I'm not coming. I said it, but I love the way that Deshaun Watson is handling it. He said what he said and he's not saying anything else because he doesn't owe you any more explanation because we know media is going to say what they say. So I agree with Draymond. I think the difference is in the NBA, the guys are a lot more vocal. They do have a little bit more control over their career than they have in the NFL. So they feel like they should be able to say certain things. But I've said it time and time again, you can't have me on a bus and make me get off the damn bus because you trading me. And then I'm supposed to just smile and be like, it's okay. It's not okay. And I think at the end of the day, these guys should be able to do what they want to do, what's best for their career. And I don't think that they owe any organization anything. That's why I'm very anti cancel the player when he decides he wants to leave, because I feel the same in regular job too. Like we have to give a 2 weeks notice, but they can walk in and hand you your pink slip. You know what I mean? So you got to do what's best for you, and no matter what. And I think that what Draymond is saying, it's interesting because he's not really been in that situation, but he's still seeing people that he knows or colleagues and people that he associates with in that situation. And it does affect you mentally to go out. Now I'm supposed to go out there and give my best when I'm in trade talks. You're not giving your best to me. Why do I have to give my best to you? And you've already let me know you want to let me go. That's it. The disrespect is insane. And I am so glad that Draymond called this out.
And Britt, how do you feel about what Draymond? Do you think that he's on to something?
I don't think that he's on to something. Like, it's something that we can see, and it's a lot of agents put in their players' contracts no trade clauses. That is an option that you can decide to do and figure out if you want to, or if your agent is smart enough to do that. You can have a no trade clause in your contract. Carmelo Anthony did. Tons of athletes do. That is something that you need to talk to your agent about, boo-boo. That's not something that obviously the team is going to look out for themselves, just like the players are now very vocal about looking out for themselves now. If you don't have an agent that can't get that put in your contract, that sounds like a problem with your agent, not with the NBA. Like, the NBA is a business. I work for a company. Y'all work for a company. I'm sure most people watching either go to a school or work for somebody else. There are rules. You can't go willy-nilly and say and do whatever you want to do. If you have a problem with it, go do another NBA lockout. Try to change something. Don't play if you don't want to play. Sit out. There's the reason why you guys even have the be able to do what you want to do in certain aspects and be, in free agency and stuff like that, is because other people set out and did that before you came. So, like, if you want to make changes, you have to actually want to do something, because I know a lot of NBA players last year were crying. NBA went into their time during COVID where, like, they weren't able to play, and everybody was talking about they need to make their money and they need to go, and they're willing to put their health on the line so they could get a paycheck. Well, what are you willing to do to change these rules? What are you willing to do? Because y'all weren't willing to save your lives. We didn't even know about COVID. Y'all still wanted to play then. You guys were crying about wanting to play then because most of y'all wanted your paycheck still. When do we look and say, well, you are the players. Like, this league is nothing without you guys. So if you want to actually change something, you have to go do the work. Just like Jackie said, tomorrow it's going to go back to the same thing and it's going to get changed, but you're not necessarily required to change it. Like, you actually have to physically do something, not just talk about it for 3 minutes on, to the media. The media has nothing to do with what the NBA as a league is going to do. The media is not going to encourage the league to change in any way, shape, or form. The league is not all of a sudden now going to be like, you know what, Draymond has a point. No, like, let's stop looking out for ourselves as the owners and let's look out more for them. They're not going to do that willy-nilly just because Draymond said something about it, or just because athletes get a bad look because of the media and the fans when they want to trade. That's the media fans that are giving them the bad look, not the owners. It's us that is saying, like, oh, well, Kyrie shouldn't be doing this. It's us that's creating these storylines. So why would the NBA want to change any of this stuff when, number one, as far as their business is concerned, they have a chance where players can ask for a no trade clause. There's so many different options. These players, yes, not every player is going to be granted that, because not everybody is Carmelo Anthony or LeBron James or whoever the case is, but those options are out there. So NBA is not going to change anything because they're like, well, we do have this available. You could have in your contract a no trade clause. You might have to take a bet to get that, but that's an option for you guys. So I don't know, just in this world of like America, corporate America, like any job that you have, you can't just do whatever you want to do or leave or people have to put in 2 weeks notice. Also, when you can't just like get fired for no reason. There's different things in all contracts. That's just the way it is. And if you want to change, you have to physically do something. So it's not that I don't feel bad or I don't get it. Everything you said is correct, but what are you going to do about it? That's what I need to know. What are you guys going to do about it? Are you going to go into another lockout and renegotiate these contracts that you guys have with the owners? Do that then.
I mean, I have to kind of disagree on that, like almost across the board, because number one, I think there's a level of respect. The league is always talking about we want to take care of your mental health. We want to do this, but we're cool to treat you like crap in public and have any recourse to that. So that's not, to me, that's not something that should be contractual. That's something that should just be common damn sense. You don't treat people like that. If you don't want me to say something ill about you, then don't do ill stuff to me. But otherwise, I have to say something. And I, with Draymond saying this to the media, because it's not the owners that are coming out and calling these players toxic when they look out for their own best interests. It's the media. We're the ones that drag them, and we're the but I'm saying that you say a 3-minute rant to the media, y'all need to do better, and if you want to call somebody toxic, media needs to spread that toxicity around. It just shouldn't go towards the players. It should also go towards the team, but it's not. I feel like what Draymond is saying, like, look, we all need to do our part. These organizations, if you're going to be preaching this narrative that we care about your mental health, then actually mean that and do that. Show that. And I don't know if I necessarily believe that has to be contractual. It's a business with teams trading teams, with players saying they want to bounce. I get it's a business. Let's have mutual respect for each other, which I think at the end of the day is all Draymond is really saying. Like, if we have to give you this respect, cool, give it back to us. That'd be. And the fact that we would have to put that in a contract is sad to me. And the no trade clause situation is different, because then what if you get in a situation like Deshaun Watson? Now there's pluses and minuses to all that. But I think what Draymond is really saying is it going to kill y'all to give us the same respect that you require from us? And I think the answer to that is no. I think this is an easy, non-contractual fix.
But then that's you're just saying the media. It's the media then. It's not the NBA owners, which, like, he's talking about two different conversations then. If it's the media that's starting these storylines and that he's wanting, like, because I feel like we on this channel we do call out the Rockets or the Houston Texans organization for being crappy organizations and not I feel like we call those things out often. And then when we feel like a player, like how James, the way he did it, we called him out on that too. So I do think there are some, if you want to call out, ESPN or whoever, and you feel like they didn't do that, then that's your issue with them. But like, I do feel like there are groups like us that do see what the owners are doing or do see when it's a player mistake, and I feel like we can call out both. And I feel like we try to do that as fairly as we can on our platforms. So maybe more people should watch us.
If Draymond was just watching the fumble, he wouldn't have made this 3-minute rant. He would think well in the world. So maybe we just
Draymond,
the fumble.
tell them to come with us, my guy. Help us help you.
You guys, we got to move on into the next Need to Know News update, but I think you guys both brought up really valid points, and I loved hearing from you both on that. I personally think that Draymond did say a lot of really strong arguments, but also it does need to be some action that follows. So let's talk about Ayesha, okay? Because Ayesha has a tweet that will haunt her for the rest of her life. She tweeted in 2015, "Everyone's into barely wearing clothes these days, huh? Not my style. I like to keep the good stuff covered up for the one who matters." So Ayesha was basically shaming women who wear tighter tops, shorter shorts, lower cut shirts, whatever. She was just shaming women who dress differently than she does. But then she posted this photo. Dave, can you throw the Instagram photo up of her? Not this, that one. She's nude. So, and yes, she is covered up. You can't see anything. Mentioned it. This is for my sweet July feature. Steph got to pick the photo, shins and shoulders, y'all, shins and shoulders. So basically kind of like making it seem like the photo was okay, that she was nude because Steph picked it. That's sort of the way I interpreted that. A lot of people were complimentary, but then she also did receive a handful of criticisms because of those tweets from 2015. One person tweeted, "It's a lot of Ayesha Currys out there talking down on women for doing/wearing certain things, but deep down admiring the confidence those women have and waiting for the day they too can pull it off." Another person tweeted, "Regarding Ayesha Curry, growth requires some acknowledgement that your previous position was wrong. If you used your platform as a public figure to slut shame for lacking modesty, and one day you're just out here naked, you're a hypocrite." There were a lot of people saying those kinds of things. There were people that came to her defense saying she's clearly time to grow. She's changed her perspective. It's obvious. Others who were making fun of the people who were, fired up by this nude photos that 6 years ago. Why are you still talking about it? Ayesha also went into her comments and was clapping back at the people who referenced the 2015 tweet. After someone posted word for word what she tweeted in the comments, she wrote, "When you realize I was talking about a person wearing nipple pasties leaving a Starbucks and thought it was hilarious, no one cared to ask." Except for the fact that we have been asking. We've been asking for a long time for an explanation. Another person asked, "Is this the same person that was telling women to cover up a few years ago?" And she wrote back, "Never said that." Now, I obviously believe people can be enlightened. I think people can change. And maybe Ayesha has had a change of heart and is singing a different tune. But until she provides some sort of substantial acknowledgement of those tweets from 2015, continue bringing them up. So, Britt, let's go to you first here. What's your take on Ayesha clapping back on all of these trolls in the comments? Do you think that she really has changed her perspective?
Obviously she got her body together, started working out now, and so she's better about herself, which probably, I know she's talked about like not feeling comfortable in her body, and after she's had her kids, she doesn't feel whatever, all this kind of stuff, which is why she was probably so open to shame other women for, being confident in their bodies and stuff like that during that time. But my problem is the acknowledgement of it, or lack of acknowledgement of how you were and how you spoke and how you shamed women before, and acknowledging like that. The last one that you just read was the main one that I was like looking at. I was just like, what do you mean? Acknowledge what you said, apologize for that, and then move forward. Like, not go. It's very hard for these tweets. Again, we talk all the time about stuff living on Twitter forever or on social media forever. We all say dumb stuff at some point. That is not something that I'm going to, contest or go, whatever. That's true. Like I believed stuff before that I believe, or whatever the case is now. But you have to acknowledge that you said it and then actually make an apology for it and say, hey, you know what? I was wrong. Like, I'm in a position where I'm comfortable in myself, so I was shaming other women who did feel confident and comfortable in their bodies, and that's not okay. Ladies, I apologize because us women should not be doing that to each other. That's all really I think people want to hear. And she has yet, again, almost 6 years later, said anything like that. And that is why we continue. I mean, I don't care to even go on her page or do any of this stuff, but that's people that are on her page continue to bring it up because she's never said anything about it.
Exactly. That's how I feel 100%. We would believe her if she said she felt differently now, but the fact that she isn't saying anything about those very shamey tweets from 6 years ago means they're just going to continue following every time she does something like this. Jackie, I know you probably have a really good response to all of this, so let's hear from you now.
If she came out and said she's grown and felt differently, y'all would believe that. Let's be clear. I would not, because I don't believe that people, and I've said this before, people modify their behavior and they don't change. That tweet that she put out was because she can do it. She couldn't pull it off. If she'd have sat on that floor a few years ago in 2015 and pulled this photo and done this photo, people would have clowned her because her body wasn't right. So this isn't a change of heart. This is a change of body. Now I feel like I'm out here and I got this body yada yada and I can do TikTok challenges and now I feel good. This isn't a change of heart. This is a change of body. And so I'm not buying it. I'm so over this chick and I'm tired of her. And I would respect that. I wouldn't respect the, oh, I've grown and I feel no, you don't. You're lying. I would respect her if she said, yo, I was chunky then. My body's snatched now. I feel good about that. And this is what you gonna get. Like if she said that, then cool, I will rock with you. But don't come out here with fake apology and say you had a change of heart, because no, you did not. That's it.
All right, Jackie. Okay.
Just sip my tea.
Yada 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 yada. Okay, let's wrap up. Let's wrap up Need to News. Jackie, can you take us into the pub?
Yes, let's go post up. Y'all got me heated on this, Ayesha. Girl, you're getting on my nerves. But let's go into this one because this one is going to remind a lot of y'all who played ball. You've done this at least once. I'm telling you, whether it was high school, middle school, whatever, or even day before yesterday. And I don't know why people are giving him such a hard time, but Bradley Beal had to go get the ball. So take a look.
I used to do that when I used to set up cameras in the Alamo Dome and used to get all kind of stuff on you.
I'll tell you what.
People for
Oh my goodness. I don't know if y'all got to see it. Their feet kicking and everything. Like, I almost got it. Wait, almost got it. There it is. Twitter gave him such a hard time for this, but I found this completely adorable, especially since Russ was right there to pick him up off the ground. I love this whole thing. But of course, let me get to some of these Twitter responses, which I actually thought were kind of funny as well. But let's take a look at this first one. He don't have to do stuff like that anymore. Some things never leave us, though. That's my thing. Like, once you just used to kind of diving for a ball, you just used to diving for a ball, no matter where it may be. And then what's this next one we have? He under there looking for Westbrook's jump shot.
Okay.
That's unnecessary. Let's move on. Now I'm trying to be nice. This is going to be Jackie Be Nice Tuesday. And then this one says, thought this was his escape plan from the Wizards. That one I would buy. Like, let me just hide under here because this is just getting...
Right, and Russ is all pulling him back. He's like, nope, buddy, I came over here. You come out.
No, we in this together. You ain't going to hide under
both
these.
Feet. Nah, you coming with me.
Totally believe that one. I totally believe that. Britt, I think you're going to love this next one, too, because I have never seen... Let me take that back. I've seen Patrick Beverley on several highlight reels, but it's him on the sideline talking trash or getting in someone's face. It's rare that it's actually a dope highlight reel. So he had made a comment, I think it was a press conference, but he had said, I want a shot to go viral like how y'all be doing everybody else. Let my S go viral too. Now show me some love. And then this happens. Take a look.
well this year, but early in the shot clock. So that one, Lou to Beverly, a catch and shoot three. It is good. Patrick Beverley with 4 threes, and the Clippers.
I hope you guys can see his face because this man is so happy. He's sitting on the sideline. He's like, I got to catch and throw three. Like, he is so excited. I was so happy for that. But then here comes the shade. Now, I did list one little back and forth, and this one I'm just going to let y'all know. These first two tweets are really inappropriate, but I found them funny, so I picked them. So let me show you the first one really quick. So they should make visit to the dentist go viral so he can hop on that trend too. Ooh, the shade.
Hey.
Like I said, inappropriate, but I loved it. But look, somebody clapped back at him. Oh, did we miss that one? There was a person who clapped back at him and said that person should get on a trend of changing his name because his name was corny. But Patrick Beverly tweeted, he goes, Steph Curry. So that's how it feels once he saw that real. I actually love this. Britt, I know you love seeing your boy like that too. Did you see the whole thing, to how happy he looked? How did you feel about that?
You guys, okay. Number one reason why I love Patrick Beverly is because his mama is so dope. But like, I love me some Patrick Beverly. And so I thought that was like so dope because he is like one of those, he's not for his defense and crap talk or whatever, but he's like, oh, so this is why y'all get all excited about 3 points. And it's just so cute. But this actually just made me up to make this point right now. Yesterday, the Clippers beat the Heat. All of our starters, Patrick Beverly, Kawhi, Paul George, and Nick, were not playing in the game. All set yesterday. We won the game. Jimmy Butler is back. Everybody is back on that roster. Bam was playing. Everyone was playing. And the Clippers won. So I'm really excited about everything that the Clippers are doing right now. And I am so excited Patrick Beverly had that moment because I feel like they're just the energy is just like climbing up for the Clippers. And I love the way they're playing right now. And they just seem in sync and kind of like in love with each other. They all seem like best friends right now. And I love it.
Well, I don't have anything to say about that because I don't really watch the Clippers. So I wouldn't know how they look together. But if you say they look happy, then I believe. All right, so let's go to this next one because believe it or not, I have seen this one other time. It was in college. Somebody got to warm up and the refs were livid. They were like, you do not get warm-up shots in a game. Nobody ever told Tyler Herro that, though, so take a look at this.
Force Morris to get stuck in between and have to commit.
What was that? That was a strange situation. Did that free throw actually count? Tyler Herro looked like he took that almost as a warm-up. He caught it and stepped in.
I hope you guys heard the ref because as soon as, the ref kind of bounces the ball to Tyler immediately takes a shot and the ref goes, miss, like super loud. Tyler's like, wait, what? It's like, you don't get practices in the game, my guy. But I love the confusion on his face. That one was great because that's what you still not really a Tyler Herro fan. I'm not mad at the kid, but I just not a fan. But I don't care at all about who people date. I know you guys know this. I care so little about who people date that this one almost missed me because I really didn't get it. I just don't think relationships really last, you guys. So why let them bother you? But one user posted this with a caption that says Devin Booker delivering Kendall's V-Day present. Now let me show you the video.
Contact between Harris and Curry and maybe everybody else.
Now, that was just...
Now I forgot because when I saw it, I was like, why would him getting that shot over Ben Simmons be a Valentine's Day present for Kendall? I forgot. I don't follow, but Twitter was there to remind me because the jokes started coming. So this one says Devin Booker really stole Ben Simmons' girl and then dropped 36 on his head. I'm like, oh yeah, she used to cheat on him all the time. I forgot about that. She's such a cheater. We go to this next one. It says leftovers ain't nothing to brag about. That's also true.
That is great.
They just keep going. Let me get to this next one. So now this one is great because this guy feels like he still has a shot. All these women are all passed around. All these women are all passed around. Same way you receive her, the same way she'll leave you. It's plenty regular women out there who's real. I get what you tried to do there, but I would advise you not to call any woman regular. That's just probably not what I would do. But I get what you was trying to say that. but on this last one, this is the one that is funny to me because he still thinks he has a shot. He says, "Damn, didn't even know Kendall was like that. Still love her though. It's getting to my turn soon." I do not ever want to be the girl that guys are being like, "I got next." You nasty. It's just, I love this though. Shout out to y'all bringing this to my attention because this one, wait. All right, so let's get into this next one because this one is funny to me. So the Wizards, they got down. They're dead last in the East again. I was happy for them for being second to last, but those days are gone. But I'm starting to think the Wizards are just cursed because I've seen Russell miss free throws before, but I've never, ever, ever seen him miss one this bad. And the look on his face is fantastic. Take a look. I mean, everyone just runs back the other way to play the game, and Russ is like,
"Wait, get back on defense, my guy."
What just happened? I thought that this was hilarious. So that happened on Sunday. So I just wanted to show you. I had to show you guys the split personality of Russell Westbrook because we've seen him mad. We've seen him now stare at the rim while everybody else is running back down to get on defense. And then in the Knicks game, there was a long delay, and it was a really long delay. It was like a 4-minute delay, and no music was playing. It was just dead in the stadium. And look at what Russell Westbrook is doing for the entire time. Keep in mind, no music is playing.
51 career triple doubles. He has 5 this season.
He has no headphones on.
Get it, guy.
One season all time. Triple-doubles.
I like how the security guy is just unfazed. Just not even paying
Maybe
any
the
attention.
security guy has music. Maybe he does on the low. Like, if you sit there for hours just watching the game, then you got to have something going on. So he probably got music in his pocket. He's like, "Russ, hello, you're going to get me playing this music, my guy. Stop it. Stop it."
I hope that's it because otherwise Russ was just out there like, "I don't care. This is my jam in my head." I thought that was hilarious. I had to show y'all that. Y'all know I love Russell Westbrook. So let me get on to somebody who is not in love with the antics of Tom Brady. Now, Britt and I have decided that we kind of like this version of Tom Brady, but we changed it back. We have gone and we've changed it back. We just don't like Tom, but petty. I mean, this next one is just petty. So I love seeing Tom Brady act a fool in the parade and act a little beside himself and throw the Vince Lombardi trophy. But Lorraine Gross, I believe is her last name. She's the daughter of Greg Gross, the silversmith who made the Lombardi trophy. She is not at all happy, and she wants an apology for Tom Brady throwing that trophy. Take a look.
And it takes a lot of work, a lot of hard work, a lot of hours go into it. It just really upset me that this trophy was disgraced and for the past 2 years because of this. I was that upset because I know the passion that goes into this trophy and how my dad and all his fellow silversmiths are so proud to make this. I personally would like an apology, not just to me and my family and the other silversmiths, but to the fans.
Girl! Let me just go to you, Brent, because what are your thoughts on this?
She said, not just to me. And first of all, nobody would have given you an apology in the first place. The entitlement in this video is just so epic. First of all, sis went to the local news station and told her little story. They thought it was a story enough to have her come on. So this just increased her entitlement even more. She did at the beginning of the video, she said she didn't sleep for days. And she is just so distraught about this. Sis, stop it. You had nothing to do with the trophy, first of all. Your daddy is rich as heck. He was the master silversmith for Tiffany & Co. Like, y'all good, okay? Your daddy ain't worried about it. Trust me, rest in peace to your dad. He ain't worried about it, okay? Like, I don't even know why you even thought you would get an apology in the first place. She said, not just to me, but also to, girl, if there was an apology to be made, it's not going to be to you, period. Like, ooh,
Right.
Get your Auntie Karen, okay?
I was like, you got on national TV. Well, not national TV. This is going to be a national story with the, you didn't do anything. You living off of daddy's money. You didn't make the damn trophy. Oh, girl, that we're going to move on to this next one because that girl right there, like, some words. All of them have 4 letters in them, but yeah, let me move on to this one. So Deshaun Watson was mic'd up during a game, and this is like the worst bad lip read because they didn't think it was a bad lip read. They thought he actually said this. So let me show you this video, and you can see what people thought he said.
I'm activated, and I'm ready to go.
That's what he do to get ready. I'm with it. If that, hey, no judgment here.
And I'm ready to go.
And I'm ready to go. I feel relieved. I feel better. I feel happy. I got endorphins in my system. I'm not mad about this, but he was like, y'all really just gonna close caption that? I did not say that. And so he retweeted it and he said what he said. He's like, I'm activated and I'm ready to go. It's not. I
still think it's the first one.
I think it's the first one too, because the first one made me feel better than the second one. So I don't know. I think it's the first one too. So if you guys don't know this, don't feel bad. A lot of people don't. There is a fan-controlled league. It's the FCL. That's a new football league. I don't know how long it's going to be around, but there is a new fan-controlled league. So you're a fan and you've always said, oh, it should matter what the fans say, because it never does. Y'all write these petitions. Nobody cares, do what they do. But the fan control league is about that. So the fans get to decide who's on the roster. They decide jerseys, colors, names, all of that. And so far, it seems like a cool league. Johnny Football is in there. Y'all know Johnny Manziel. But I just want to show you because apparently the fans can also decide who's in the booth calling the game. So I want y'all to see the difference, because this first one is going to be from Johnny Manziel, his first snap. And then I'm going to show you another commentary. Take a look.
Possession for Johnny Manziel and the Zappers here in the FCF. Manziel to throw. Stepping up. Now he'll take it himself to the 15, the 20. Manziel to the 25. Still moving. 15. Backpedaling. 10-5 and taking down just shy of the end zone.
Wow.
Johnny Football back in business and bringing the Zappers.
First of all, you know it's a fan league when you have a team named like the Zappers. What? But you can tell that these guys. Go ahead, Britt.
No, so one of my friends destroying, a lot of you guys probably know he's a big YouTuber or whatever, but he is one of the owners of one of the teams, and they're called the Glitter Boys, that also Richard Sherman part owner of too. There's like a lot of like former or current NFL players and YouTubers and stuff that kind of will like own the teams, and they'll just send out things like, okay, here are the 10 jerseys we want. Which one do y'all like? And then the fans get to pick on whatever one the team is going to have for their jersey, which is like, it's kind of cool. But I remember when he was like, oh, football is going to like be in the league and stuff, and it's going to get publicity. I'm here for it. I think it's cool. And it's cool that like NFL players are like getting involved stuff with it as well, as far as ownership.
Yeah. Yes, as far as ownership, that's great. But they might want to rethink letting every former NFL player in the booth to call a game, because I give you Marshawn Lynch. Take a listen.
I'm going to go ahead and throw back this Caesar salad with these croutons and all this shit, though, right? Go ahead, take me a nice fat shit, get my stomach all right and everything. I'm going to go out here and try to run for 200 on a 50-yard field like what's happening.
Okay. I don't have anything else to say on that. It's like, you might at least get your bleep button game on. Like, come on, somebody need to be on that. Marshawn's in the booth. You knew what was going to happen.
They can say whatever they want.
That's true. But damn. All right, so I'm going to post up with this, because I'm going to tell you right now, if I did this to my mom, she would not get one of these right. So for those of you in the chat, and then ladies, I want you to answer afterwards too. Let me know if your mom would be this good. Like, would she be able to name somebody from every team? I can tell you right now, for my mom, it is a no, but take a look.
Atlanta Hawks?
Yeah, so pick someone for there for your starting five.
The kid, point guard, Ayesha Curry. What's his name? Shoot, man.
Trae Young?
Trae Young.
Okay. All right. So right now you have Trae Young. Okay. Ooh, pick anyone from the Celtics.
Tatum.
Tatum? Okay. All right, you have Trae Young and Tatum.
Okay. And Russell Westbrook.
Okay, you have Trae Young, Westbrook, and Tatum.
Can I change the Westbrook to Isha? What's his name?
I'm not telling you his name. You know his name.
Beal.
Good
yes.
job. Okay. You got Trae Young, Beal, and Tatum. You need two more.
Right.
Oh, LeBron James.
Quick about it. All right, last one. You need a center, I think, or like just someone really tall.
My boy Zion.
So, my mom would never ever be able to do that. So shouts out you guys in the chat. Let me know if your mom or maybe your grandma, whatever, could do this. Let me know in the chat. But guess what day it is, you guys? In addition to being Taco Tuesday, let me get Britt up here really quick because it is Tag Team Tuesday. Tag team.
Back again. Let's get it. There's a party over here, a party over there. Waving hands. Whoop, there it is.
I promise one day, Britt and I are going to learn the words to that song. So we can.
Yeah, y'all need we need a whole intro. Like, we need an intro.
Right.
Like the Wayans brothers, like, we're brothers, we're happy. But we need one for Tag Team Tuesday.
Yes. Okay, so y'all in the chat that are
yeah.
Yes, do that for us. That would be awesome because we're gonna get right into. I admitted this last one was tough because I am a huge Gina Carano fan, and I told you about what she said, some disparaging things that she said, and what I think all of us should do. I needed to get more perspective on it because I was like, okay, what she said was insensitive and it was obtuse to say the least, but I don't know if I felt it was malicious, but it affected Jewish people. So I did what everybody should do. Ask somebody that it affects. Devin kind of enlightened me on that, and I felt better about her being fired. After speaking to Devin, to be honest, cool, I get it. That being said, you guys know I'm a huge UFC fan, which is problematic for me because I also believe that Dana White is completely racist. He's shown that on several different occasions. When Covington made those racist remarks towards Usman, who was interviewing him, he wasn't even fighting him. He was interviewing him. Usman is from Nigeria, and he said, "Oh, are you coming? Are they calling you from your little tribe? Are they sending up smoke signals?" And then when he beat Woodley, he said that Woodley was a black fighter and that he supports Black Lives Matter, which means he supported criminals, communists, and Marxists. And then when Dana White was asked about that, Dana White was like, "Well, I'm not going to muzzle my players. If that's his belief, I support their beliefs. I'm going to let them believe what they want to believe." Which, to me, again, if you don't want to call out a racist, it's because you don't see anything wrong with their views. And so that's a problem. So I think that sometimes you really, like I said, you have to put yourself in a position where you can hear other people, even if you don't agree, even if your immediate thing is like, "Oh, I don't care." It's like when the former Washington football team, I feel like if Dan Snyder had listened to actual Native Americans, we wouldn't have had that racist name for as long as we did, but he just didn't care. And that to me shows who he is as a racist. So it's a little tough because Dana White is synonymous with MMA, UFC. They kind of go hand in hand. So now what are you going to do? How are you going to call this man out, right? So ESPN has a 7-year contract with UFC. So that means that their reporters are going to be covering it. We know that because we see it all the time. You can see it on ESPN Plus. It's this whole thing. So I think because there's this relationship between ESPN and UFC, there also should be responsibility on the part of ESPN to say, "Hey, you're not going to let your racist views spew over to our reporters." That's at least so ESPN has a Jewish lead reporter on UFC. I know you guys have all seen Ariel Hawaii. He's great. He's been on there a very, very, very long time. And so a lot of people did what I did with Devin. Instead of coming to the Fumble and asking Devin how she felt about the Gina Carano situation, a lot of Twitter users went directly to Ariel and asked him, how do you feel? And so he didn't respond for quite some time, honestly. And then he made this video and he said, I didn't respond because it's hard for me to really put my thoughts together in a tweet. So let me make this video. So he basically said, you know, I started interviewing Gina Carano. She was one of the first people I interviewed. I've interviewed her several times throughout my career. And he's like, and to be honest, her last year of tweets, which I don't follow her on Twitter. I only follow her on Instagram. So maybe that could be why I didn't know some of the things that he knew. He's like, but her last year of tweets have been very questionable. They've been, you know, very insensitive and things of that nature. So he said a lot of that. So he's like, and I just feel like, you know, for me, no, comparing being Republican to being Jewish should never be a thing. And it's ridiculous. And he says, but I am not a part of, you know, cancel culture and saying whether or not somebody should have a job. I'm just going to say what I feel about the situation and how it made me feel as a Jewish person. So I was excited about that because I thought that his perspective was very spot on. It wasn't tainted or skewed in any way. He's not part of cancel culture. It was like, this is how it made me feel because that's what Twitter is. So after hearing his thing, I was like, damn, you know, Gina really does need to issue an apology because a lot of people feel this way. So then I went back to her Instagram. She did not issue an apology, quite the opposite. Let me show you this post to her Instagram. Dave, can you throw that up there? So this is the new company that is taking her on. So Gina Carano to produce and star in an upcoming film for the Daily Wire. Then I go to the Daily Wire's page. The Daily Wire issued this whole statement about the reason why they picked up Gina Carano is basically a lash out in the face of what they called woke culture. They want to make sure that woke Hollywood knows that people who speak against the status quo are going to be welcomed on their platform. And then Gina kind of co-signed that on her Instagram. She made a comment to this that basically co-signed on that. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but she basically said, I'm sending out a direct message to everyone in fear of living in cancellation by the totalitarian mob. Only just begun using my voice, which is now freer than ever before, and I hope it inspires others to do the same. They can't cancel us if we don't let them. So there's not an ounce of self-reflection in that. There's not an ounce of I've said something that made other people feel bad, and I feel bad about hurting other people. There's not an ounce of reflection in that. And what makes it worse is when Dana White was asked about it, Dana was like, they asked him, like, how do you feel about the things that Gina said? And he decides not only to dismiss it as nothing, he circle backs and issues an insult to Ariel. So check out this clip.
Leave Gina alone. You know, listen, we make mistakes. We all make mistakes, you know, for everybody to go in on her. I love how Ariel Helwani made it all about him. It was all about him. Such a douche. Okay, so look, that pissed me off, yes, but that's Dana White. And so there's a side of me that's like, oh, you know, this is Dana being Dana. Somebody say something. ESPN needs to say something because you can't just call our journalists a douche sharing how this affected them as a Jewish person. ESPN it took them 3 days to issue a statement. And their statement basically said, Ariel is a valued colleague and an exceptional MMA reporter. His record speaks for itself. There was we condemn Dana White for calling him a douche, for sharing how this impacted him. Nothing. They dismissed it, and they have not released another comment about this. What we're not going to do as ESPN. I know your numbers are failing, and you're trying to make this relationship MMA to get those numbers up, but y'all cannot be out here not addressing this kind of behavior. You got a Jewish journalist that said how it made him feel, that said how it impacted him, and then this guy calls him because that you got to say something, and not saying something is such a slap in the face to me. I think it's gross. ESPN, you have got to do better. Britt, now I know you've got a viewpoint on this. Tell us what you think about all of this.
So to your point first with, ESPN, losing money and their channel is kind of dying off and stuff like that. Like we talked last summer about how they had to let go of another 300 employees, and that's on top of the 75 that they let go of the year before. So I get whatever relationship, but even I feel like UFC has kind of fallen off a lot too. I used to watch UFC a lot. I was a big, John Bones Jones. That was my little boo thing, Yes, I have boo things in every area code. Yes, but yeah, I love me some John Bones Jones, and I used to always watch UFC. And I remember I used to work at a sports bar. It was like literally we would sell tickets basically to go into the bar just to watch the game and stuff like that. But even going back to my days as a bartender, if I had a customer say something terrible to me or disrespectful to me, my manager would go over to the customer and kick the customer out. This is the same situation that ESPN should be doing. Yes, the customer is paying to be here, just like the UFC is paying to be a part of ESPN and doing all of their ESPN Plus stuff, which we know all the UFC fights air on ESPN Plus, and you have to pay an additional money to see like the big fight that happened this past Saturday and the one that happened last week or a couple weeks ago with Connor and stuff like that. You got to pay extra on ESPN Plus to even watch those, and it's separate from ESPN. They'll have all them stuff on regular ESPN, and you got to go to ESPN Plus to pay for ESPN Plus to watch the big stuff, So I get it's like this partnership and they're making a lot of money, but ESPN, this is your network, and this is somebody that works almost more exclusively with, the UFC in fighting and MMA and stuff like that. So this is a person who has to be around these people all the time. And for you to not protect your employee, and going back to Draymond Green's situation with basketball that I understood and get from there is you cannot have, or you can't have the double standard of expecting, okay, Ariel, if something happens, you have to be quiet. You have to be very, politically correct, say everything right. But then the other guy who is the president of the UFC, it's not like it's some random fighter who has lost half his brain cells anyway. Like, this is a guy that is the face of the UFC. Have him just willy-nilly get to say anything. No, that's the business. Like, he is the business of the UFC. So you can require him to say stuff and speak to people properly too, because again, this is all under the umbrella of the ESPN, where UFC can, go to Fox, whatever, like ESPN can say whatever they want, or, be like, listen, right now, you're doing a deal with us and we need you to respect our reporter, period. Like, and that's something that should easily be able to be said. He should have easily had to be asked to say an apology just because of the business deal of it and the transaction of the money that's being exchanged to televise their fights, So I thought it was like, again, ESPN's done this on several occasions. We know even Jamil Hill, when she decided to speak out and say stuff about it, she gets fired because of it. Carrie Champion lost a lot of her job stuff because she started being more vocal about stuff. So ESPN, you do insert yourself in these situations often. So why did you not do it on the Dana White side of it and just still expect your reporters to remain a certain way? Like, I don't know, the hypocrisy of it is kind of crazy to me. It's sad. It's not something that I'm like surprised necessarily about, but why do we continue to see these same patterns going on? And then ESPN does this and they feel like they can do this because they feel like they're like the only dog in the race. But the real answer is y'all are losing viewership literally daily. You've lost. Gen Z does not watch ESPN. The Gen Z crew does not watch it. Millennials, we're half and half. Y'all got the old heads, but as soon as they die off, what y'all got, So I think that they really take a look at this and notice what culture they're continuing to create at ESPN. Obviously, they're still going to do better than Fox does because Fox is known to be more of like the conservative brand, and even in the sports world of it, and has tried to do more things with having Malika Andrews kind of talk on stuff, and her being only like 23, 24 years old, which I think is cool, but she's not pulling in this like crowd of young people because you're still having her be like the old people are. She's still talking the same like that. It's not some thing that you're introducing, like with NFL and CBS trying to do the Nickelodeon stuff. That's them trying to pull in the young kids. ESPN is still trying to keep their culture and thinking they're going to be able to keep their same eye. But when we continue to see stuff like this and you don't even protect your reporters and you let somebody like Dana White kind of just run all over everything, then your reporters, we know, cannot say anything because we've seen you fire reporters that do say stuff. People that literally made your channel. His and Hers on ESPN was my favorite show. Both of them had issues with ESPN, lost their job, like Sports Nation was one of my other shows that I used to watch. And then they had to separate Ellis and Michelle Beadle and your dude Max or whatever and kind of cancel that show off too. And now y'all have these basic, simple things that nobody's interested in anymore. And you wonder why you're losing viewership. You are doing this to your reporters and your hosts and your analysts and whatever the case is. So yeah, that's what I feel about it. I think it's crazy. I think it's unfortunate. And Becky, do you think that ESPN is going to be able to gain an audience with like the Gen Zers and stuff like that? Or do you think that that's kind of like a lost cause, that they'll never be at that kind of crowd?
No, I think it's definitely a lost cause because I think that just not even just across the board, I think we're all more vocal now. And I think that we can see that ESPN is all about silencing you if you're too vocal, number one. And that's just not, people don't want to hear that. And like you said, it's like, I don't even watch ESPN. There used to be a time in my life that I would wake up to ESPN. Like my TV would come on and ESPN would be on, and then I would watch it till lunchtime. And then lunchtime I would eat, and I was constantly watching ESPN. But now it's the same narrative. Like they literally have people who are characters, and Stephen A is supposed to act a certain way, and he does that, and Max, and it's not genuine. And then here you have a guy, Ariel. We love Ariel. Ariel is like they got that right. He's very well written. People love him. But the thing is people went to him specifically because they wanted to know his viewpoint. And then ESPN is like, oh yeah, he's a cool journalist, and that's it. And so ESPN reporters came out and in support of Ariel, but they didn't even say like ESPN is wrong for just issuing this 2-sentence statement about you. We've got your back. I know this might feel abandoned or anything like that. They sent him a lot of love, but then that, to me, I was like, why in the hell aren't they saying something? But then it was like what you said. They know if they say anything too far, their jobs are on the line. And you would think ESPN would kind of dive in, like you said, they do so well in inserting themselves in things, then insert yourself on the right side. It's so easy to see what the right side is now. And you don't want to tarnish that relationship. You could say something like that. You could get someone, Olivia Pope, your statement and be like, while we relationship with the UFC, what Dana White said about Ariel, who is a seasoned reporter and blah, 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 was inappropriate. You should never call someone a douche when they are reflecting on how they feel. They could have issued that statement. And then what was ESPN or UFC going to do? If UFC or Dana White says anything disparaging against the comment like that, then they look like the douche. And now, you know what I mean? So they could have handled it entirely different. And it's just disappointing because kind of like Draymond said, like, do you think that doesn't mess with their mental when this man says something and then your job is like, and now you still got to go back out there and do a good job? Do you think that doesn't affect people's mental?
Knowing your job is not protecting you. Yeah, it's crazy.
Mm-hmm. But that's Tag Team Tuesday.
Tag Team back again.
Gonna jump in here. First, I just want to say thank you guys so much for that discussion. And I also think it's really awesome how other ESPN reporters were rallying their support for Ariel. Like that is so important. And I think it's this kind of situation is easy to brush under the rug. But the truth is you can't compare the persecution and plight of Jews to being a Republican and then get called a douche when you have a response to it, you know? So I feel like that is, I don't know, this whole thing, it's wildly frustrating. ESPN needs to revamp from the bottom up if they want to continue on and be able to have an audience in Gen Z, because you guys are right. Gen Z doesn't have time for intolerance, I think, more so than a lot of generations before them. So thank you so much for that discussion, you guys. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, tap the bell for notifications, give this video a thumb, leave a comment below, and share it with your friends. Yes?
Tomorrow, guys, we will be back at 11 a.m. again tomorrow. We will be back at our normal schedule time. Sorry, we had to do the 1 o'clock thing for a little bit, but we'll be back at 11. So don't forget to tune in at 11 tomorrow.
11, you guys. Get there. Be square. Wash your hands. Wear a mask. Bye. Bye.